Kingmakers, one of the strangest but also cool looking concept of games that I've seen in a long time. We've covered it a lot on the channel, and it basically sees you going back as a king and controlling a medieval style army and military, but with modern tech. But they don't have the modern tech, you do. So you're going in, controlling 50, 100, thousands of men everywhere, all over the battlefield. But you can come in with an Apache, or a motorbike and an AK, or a shotgun and a shield. It's completely up to you. Going back in a time to a war-torn medieval era with a vast arsenal of modern weapons, changing the course of history and saving the future in this action strategy sandbox. Build a kingdom, grab a gun, and lead an army of thousands into massive, real-time simulated battles, solo or in co-op. This is developed and published by Redemption Road, and also published with TinyBuild. Now, TinyBuild publish tons and tons of stuff. They've got a decent track record. Yes, very indie-style games, some of them quite throwaways, but this looks like it could be a fun one. And it was supposed to release in 2 days' time, at the time of this video releasing, on the 8th of October. But unfortunately, it has been postponed, and we don't know how long for or when the new release date is going to be. The Steam page has now changed to coming soon, which is a massive shame. They put out a devlog on the 15th of September, so just a few weeks ago at the time of releasing this, and didn't say anything about any type of delay. But then on October the 3rd, just a few days ago, they released this dev letter. Now, if you are a fan of games like this and survival titles and RPG titles, subscribe to this channel. If you want to check out some more RPG related stuff, check in the link tree down below and check out our second channel, Space Cowboy. We cover things like Starfield, we'll be doing Outer Worlds, The Witcher when that comes out, all that kind of good stuff over on that one. But for this one, unfortunately, it has been delayed. Still, subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video. The team in their letter say, after much contemplation, we realise that the scheduled launch on October the 8th is no longer possible. We want to apologise to all of the fans who are eagerly anticipating this game, and we're sorry for letting you down. Well, something must have gone horribly wrong, because there's been no news, no inkling of this whatsoever, and they delayed it just 5 days before it was meant to release. You would have thought if they think it's not at a representative state and what they actually want to release into early access as, then they would have at least said something beforehand. But it does seem very short notice, and with no current release date, I don't see it releasing this year. So the letter from the team continues to outline why it's been delayed, and they've said it's an incredibly ambitious, uncompromising game, and we don't want to cut any planned features for the sake of getting out the door earlier. Our goal from the start has been to create something that's nothing like anything else on the market in terms of gameplay, scale, scope, and interactivity. With Kingmakers, we set out to push the Unreal 4 codebase to its absolute limits, while still providing true 60 FPS to mid-range PCs, without the need for fake frames. We are an 80% engineering team who got into this business to push the technological barriers. We currently have tens of thousands of soldiers, each with AI, pathfinding, and rivals what you'd expect from a AAA third-person shooter. When you walk away from a battle, it will continue to play. Nothing is fake. We have a giant 6-story castle with every room that can be entered, every wall, floor, ceiling can be destroyed. When you build a lumber mill, it's a real place that can be entered, or in an enemy invasion turned into a combat arena. When you drive a car into a tree, you're ejected through the windshield. The tree breaks from its stump, then rolls over, and whatever happens to the hapless soldiers along its path. Every mission takes place in a massive map that each player on the server is free to explore, with or without their own army of thousands. So, that sounds insane. And from what we've seen so far, as you can see by the trailers in the background, the army aspects of it and being able to control those real-time battles and go in and out with that modern weaponry, that is a big technological hurdle. And it's going to be a tough thing for them to get right and get working. With all of those moving pieces, there's definitely going to be some sort of issue or problem that continues to pop up, and I can't imagine it's going to be anywhere near bug-free. I'd say it probably is going to be quite buggy when it first comes out, and I get that they are delaying it for that reason, so that is understandable, and whether that's going to push them back quite a lot, I'm not too sure. But them not wanting to release in a bad state tells me that the game is probably in quite a bad way at the moment. And if it was released, would end up with some pretty bad backlash. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, they do continue on to say that they've set out to do all of the things that I've just mentioned with a full drop-in, drop-out, 4-player multiplayer support. And we have that ready. We just need more time on polish before we feel good about charging any money for it. So that is currently what we're doing. We're making sure everyone that buys this game is enthralled and feels like their money was well spent. We want this to be the case whether you have a top-of-the-line rig or a PC that's seen better days. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. We're doing everything we can to earn it. We're presenting a half-hour-long deep dive on Kingmakers gameplay very soon with a comprehensive overview on everything that we've been working on. Thank you, Redemption Road Games. So that does tell me from that, I mean, take your own, what do you guys think from that letter? I do think that it's nowhere near ready. We won't see it this year, and they've come into a lot more hurdles than what they'd expect. They say they've got things up and running perfectly fine, and that may be the case as a single-player experience, but then adding in co-op with their own individual armies and trying to get all of those things to gel together is, from what they're saying, that's what is taking the amount of time. Destruction's already in there, the armies are already in there, the control system's already in there ready to go, and they're not having too many issues with that, potentially, but we'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think? Do you think it is a major problem? Do you think we're not going to see this game anytime soon? But with this half an hour sort of deep dive into the gameplay, how the game's going to play out when it does release, I'm quite excited to see that. We'll probably see that at some point next month, I'd imagine. I reckon we'll see that in November, and then potentially a new release date then. Or that'll just be more news, and then we'll get a release date at the start of 2026. Now, that is it from me today on Kingmakers, which does look pretty cool. I'm quite excited for it, even if it is released later on this year. But going forward for the channel, we're going to be uploading just 4 days a week, Monday through to Thursday now. And then we'll probably ramp that up a little bit when I've got a little bit more free time and go back to the 5 or maybe even 6. We've also got content on our second channel, Space Cowboy, which we're going to be covering a lot of Outer Worlds 2 when that releases in just a few weeks' time. I'm very excited for that. But if there's any more survival stuff you want to see, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to try and move back more towards a sort of news-based and what's coming and updates for certain games on the channel, and we'll do a little bit of gameplay here and there. I'm debating moving all the gameplay over to no commentary and just having raw gameplay alongside the sort of news and what's coming. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I want to make a few changes here and there before the year's out, and then go into 2026 and go hard and go heavy and see if we can make a full blast of this and see where we go from there, really. I'm going to cover some Generation Zero as well in a couple of weeks' time. I haven't played it in a while. I jumped on it just a couple of days ago just because I had a spare bit of time and really enjoyed it. So we might do another playthrough of that, maybe stream it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, though. For today, that is it from me. I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you in the next one.